I want for inform our listeners and say the Honorable Minister, I beg your pardon, Minister Mohamed Rahman Swaray, because the last Speaker of Parliament said they not for refer to ministers as honorable if you're not too honorable.
But not so true.
I want to go by that one day.
Not so true.
Not so true. Say
no.
Is it so?
No, anybody can say. I don't know. That's an English word.
Oh, okay, but well, that's not the resolution with Parliament.
Ministers, definitely very honourable people.
Well, them be different after. Anyway, we'll move forward and we want to inform the listeners again. Say Mohamed Rahman Swaray don't deny so and they can talk about the digital transformation. Don't they carry on at the ministry and save the laws them what they don't put together for protect human rights. Welcome to the program, Mr. Minister.
Thank you, family on the morning.
Okay, so the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security get the mandate for develop policies and we will improve labor issues across the country. As a way of updates, start for take listeners so far what not able to do since you come in office as a way for develop laws and policies for improve the labor sector.
Part of the mandate of the ministry not only for develop laws there, now for enforce the law then for make sure say Sierra Leoneans enjoy the benefits of decent work, for make sure say employers then comply with the laws then, because laws by themselves they are good, but if you not enforce them, now waste of time. So it's my predecessor, they don't do a lot of work with laws then, so I continue on that trajectory. We don't just 2 weeks ago His Excellency don't accent to the industrial relations and trade union law that for govern all them people then what they say we na motor drivers union, we na the unions. The unions are supposed for fight for workman and rights then, also for ensure say workman and say responsible. So unions and they across this country in various sectors, various fields. So that's number one. We also get enforcement authority around industrial relations, around health and safety, around social security, safety net, and boku all that in there, labor migration, all ends in there. So we don't just enact the industrial relations and trade union law. His Excellency don't graciously sign into law. We mean say would they change the way would they manage unions, the trade unions, the industrial relations generally. We also get another law we've been on way day before cabinet now, the social safety net. That law we get the workers' compensation bill again. That one day for Parliament in consideration. A lot of laws there. We in the process. We review the labor migration policy. And in the next 2 weeks, we'll get a nationwide validation session. We don't review them with support from IOM, working with them and other development partners. So a lot of work to go on where you can policy team. We had done before now, we don't do the regulations around the work permit situation. We don't do around the Employment Act. So a lot of work they go on at the Ministry of Employment and Labour.
Okay, so for the benefit of our listeners, we just want to take them to go within the ministry department in terms of laws and policies. They make mention of different laws and policies that they put together with some don't pass in Parliament, some still under Parliament consideration. For the benefit of our listeners, them also as I mentioned, let me know within then different laws here, so really they speak to.
Okay, so when you take like the regulations around the employment law, the Employment Act, now 2023 they enacted before I come office. Let's talk about the various rights, responsibilities, entitlements, everything we workman for do, we forget, we employer forget. So it delineates the rights, the rules and responsibilities of various players in the employment, sphere. So that one in the Employment Act they talk about. For women, for example, then we'll talk about maternity, then they talk about paternity leave. And 19 now, when they get paternity leave, the law actually provide for them. Yeah? So you man, you wife born, you're supposed to get some leave. That's a very progressive legislation. When I know His Excellency they do very, very progressive legislations there. But not so. So part of the challenge we will get and what will they take on very squarely now for talk to salon people then, but then things them within that then law there. So now some of the things then nowadays, if you left full, how they for calculate you salary, you end of service benefits, you say your responsibilities as workman, because not all about rights no more or entitlements, it's also about responsibilities. Yeah, so all ends in the employment.
I take it by your word. They develop some of them policies also for the benefit of the general public. I take it to one for we get for do it. Sorry, the work permit. Because why they ask this question, how well I can consider the views of different people in the sector so far before they take their laws just to parliament or make parliament to peace them. I take it again to the work permit. We yourself been taken at parliament some time back. Later, the deputy minister, when you person and at the same ministry go with one, and later a go table back about 3 term parliament. They go parliament encounter and go parliament encounter, and this make ask the question: how well like able for factors some of the cause people the thing them with people want for inside the laws into the laws they want to take.
Okay, parliament. So parliamentarians and they listen to me now. You not get all the facts. Facts of the matter now. We get social partners there. Now make them to talk about social dialogue and labor. The social partners there, now the various the 3 parties there, government, employers, and organized labor. We all sit down, yeah. Before the work permit act will pass them, yeah. Before we pack the regulations on the work permit, we talk to all players there, including, as a matter of fact, we call apart from the social partners, we call employers, we call Swaray Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, we call in. So where we talk about the business community can be two-way. So nobody not go say we did not consult. We consulted. Sometimes the deputy minister not bring all the facts. But
no, what would be wrong? We go table and the deputy minister we will go and later on I will table.
No. So I'll give you the facts. Not to withdraw. We will learn because it's a statutory instrument. It's supposed to mature after 21 days. So the business community, they make a representation to parliament. They say they want further consultations. What if further consultations may really mean in that context? They want let them reduce the work permit fee. That was what they meant by further consultations. Because we are consulted, we don't consult over. But because this be new, very new to the business community and even parliament, they may think we are too much on the high. But my own experience was what I can at the ministry. I meet work permit for non-ECOWAS citizens at 6,500 newly. And 12, 13 years ago, I don't talk now. I was an expert in Liberia, 2010. My employers they pay 1,000 United States dollars for me. So I came at the ministry 12 years later, who were still charging 6,500. So I felt it was a big joke. So I challenged my team. I said, look, let's do a research. A leader delegation, they may start being very hardworking. They took a cue, they were inspired, they do the survey, and then see say really within a very laughable position we can power to the charge for work permit. Yeah. So Parliament will call we because they go talk to them. So look, they say they need further consultations. By further consultations, they felt it was too high, we need for review. That's why we withdrew it and can't talk. Okay? But I still think say that decision they will be taken, not the right thing for do, and nobody not for be surprised.
So
what will be say will still be the lowest of the charge in terms of work.
So as we talk now,
yeah.
Which are the stage of that particular law there?
Oh, it's enforced. It's enforced.
So now look at
me even think say by the next finance act we for really increase law with the at least medium law they close to with the other West African countries and the charge. So because work permit fee now for various reasons. One, particular categories of people that they want for keep out of
because that's my next question. We the Work Permit Act where Parliament don't pass into law. What it exactly about?
Yeah, good question. So every country they want for protect its citizens. So I get 3 reasons. Work permit now a protectionist regulation. Yeah. We want for able to protect Sierra Leonean jobs. There are jobs where typically we get the skills, we get the competencies, and people in there will get the experiences for doing jobs. Yeah? So then job in there will for keep them for Sierra Leoneans. Where you make the work permit fee, where increase, now like when they put high tax on cigarettes or alcohol, they call it sin tax, not so. They want for prevent people then from accessing it from buying it. Yeah. So you say if you want for hire cleaner, you go for pay $1,000 for example. You think twice. Huh? Yes, you go for pay salaries and this and that. So that's one reason. Also, work permit fees, they consist a valuable source of income for governments, right? Where we take over, the ministry over a year ago, the highest in the history of the country work permit don't generate now 8 million old loans. Yeah, 8 million old loans. So today, I think we don't do about 20 million old loans. No, 20 million. About 20 million. Now they talk about now. So from the start of time, Salon independence, this is not the highest we don't get. So we could do better. Why are we not getting more from it? Number one, now because the ministry very short staffed. Yeah, all these will get now walk-in customers. I know I go all over the place. Everybody is in here. No documentation, no nothing. Where immigration they work now for digitalizer process there, for work with private sector partners there, for ensure say everybody with the looking at bushy there, we're able to trace and track you. One, we have to protect Sierra Leonean jobs. Number two, we go for raise revenue. Number three, for national security purposes.
You talk about you talk about workman. You talk about categories of workman them, and we see multilateral companies them within the country they bring people them as expatriates. So in terms of the work permit, which set of people them where they target?
So I know a lot is wrong right now, but this is after several years of doing the wrong thing, so you don't become like a normalized. Anybody can come. We are coming. Another issue, one work permit until it's digitalized. Another get involved with them. Yeah, it's still manual. The staff them with your staff, they cannot go anywhere. So now willing and walk-in customers are the more the target, right? But once that happens, once we digitalize, we get enough capacity. I have to give it to the Ministry of Finance. They don't approve for law recruits about 150 people then at the Ministry of Employment and Labor, so that every place who will get people there in numbers would be able for deploy people then they would able to get boots on the ground, so that if a workplace accident happens, we will know, so that if there's a potential industrial action, we will know. If there are enforcement issues, we will know. All over the place, would they know? And from where I come in, I deal with a lot of them and the multitudes of them. So the work permit system, all unknown Sierra Leoneans, so one can work in Sierra Leone, they're the target. You know, there's this confusion around ECOWAS citizens. ECOWAS citizens then go count in a country 90 days. After 90 days, if you did it for the purposes of work, you know, if you want to work, you will take a work permit.
Okay, so Mr. Minister, let me continue the discussion. Let's move away from them one and then come to more that thing them so far with the ministry they do since it take up of office and that particular ministry. They go to the workplace inspection. As you can we see, we visit now different factories them way they engage silent workers them engage management as a result of waiting you want to happen waiting the labor laws and speak to them, work them so far when they do at them particular place and they let me know first waiting provoke some of this kind worker will be start for do.
Well, so Akana government in 2018, as somebody will be known, they in employment, now both government and within. So I've been now working the airport authority, accommodate. I literally work for all the mining companies in senior leadership positions. So I understand some of the challenges now boku places I don't know say workman and not they speak up, if they attempt for speak up, then they take actions against them, then they violate their laws then. But I also know say workman and they back we very lazy. The job they take them for, they know they do one, so they go thief for they'll go this, that. So I'm one for again. Since I've been not become old school, you know, I'm one for reassure myself. This was in 2023 now. 5 years I not been in then work and I've been not be minister. So I'm one for reassure myself say the issues that I've been known that they still. Yeah, so I've been in for talk to Ukman. I mean, I not say even therapeutic, you know, for go talk to Ukman and we stress for listening to them. For the very first time, I am told, I mean, now I can cover them. They tell me, say, including fatalities, and they ever report to the ministry. Yeah, and their Ukman don't ever get paid. Yeah, yes. I don't see stomp them. People then say, look my hand. I go place they say, look my hand. From what this hand called, they say, let go wait. Let go wait. I don't wait, say they not call me it. I mean, are you serious about where workplace have all employers, all companies, then get a responsibility under the law, the Factories Act, for make sure say they report a workplace accident immediately it happen. My ministry go can there, well first ministry supposed to really go to them place and do a risk assessment for profile the jobs and which one risky, so then we able advise management for put necessary measures in place for make sure say they reduce the risk. But where an accident happen or a fatality happen, they're supposed to report immediately, first port of call to the ministry. The police can come in later. But sadly enough, again, we ministry need for reach out more, let people they understanding reporting responsibilities. The HR people then within the company and then they're supposed for the advice and management. But I don't go around the country, sadly, very sadly enough, the capacity not the most companies. So the management not they are able to understand some of the law they say. Or they go out with the teller, they are shocked. Say they get that kind of responsibility. You know, so we have a clear opportunity there for bring the HR people then up to speed with the regulations there, with the laws there, and best practice.
Again, one clear attribute come out in most of them pieces and they be calling them workers in key opportunity for there among the ministry and they do. Now the fact say some workplace they will allow workers and for go lunch. So workplace they give as many as small as 3,000 leons for staff them for go for as lunch. 3,000 leons then say that you lunch and they pay above or within the minimum wage say. From that time to now, what the ministry don't do for bring the issues also to the management of them factory also the institution they also for see how best they go for like solve them.
Okay, so I think so we need for the ministry they launch a labor, employment and industrial social security we went all partners then go the Kana and talk. We need that testimony But what don't come in the first day I Kana office, the next day now we Standard Bank. Then they listen to me. Then will tell you say in Standard Bank the 100 and how many year history in this country, this batch where they go with Mohammed Swaray as minister, then get the best deal. Yeah, because I make sure that the law was enforced every inch of the way. They may reluctant. Everybody felt it was impossible. I said no. I mean I didn't say like they won. I'm happy when Sierra Leoneans win, where they're able to enjoy the labor rights, right? Where they're able to get the full benefits of decent work.
In all of this work, you
talk about lunch break. Everybody will they listen to me, whether you're not employer, you're not employee, every workman entitled to break, to lunch time. For the junior people that way to talk, they didn't have the collective agreements. So any employer will not accept that one day, a day in violation and now unfair labor practice that one day will not allow.
We talk about the workplace inspection we start for do after the president appoints you for go serve on that particular ministry. You don't talk about concerns that will be come out from workman them and self concerns that will come out from employer them. So far sorry, and I ask the question again, since you come now office, you satisfied with what you know they go on so far in our workplace in terms of realizing people workman them and
then down. So now the quality of people that wouldn't employ and call the HR was supposed for the advice. You know, there's a low. So they can't give proper advice. But we try for bolster their capacity through training, through mentoring, whatever scheme available. Because I know very good people there in practice as well. Yeah. So that's number one.
We listen to the testimony of some of the employee them here, so you go realize some of them problem here so in the face now then certain areas don't do it for decades. This make I ask the question again. Are you okay with what the ministry really don't do even before you? Because somebody go say if the ministry work, if the ministry really they do work, some of them testimonies they also they get from their employees here, so not for the happen at this.
No, the ministry. I mean, like I said to my predecessors there, then start a good job with legal reforms there. But in terms of enforcement, we have been doing very badly since independence. So not to invite it on it. We have been doing terribly. So now they make even way me they try for enforcement in the team. The first resistance now internally they get enforced. Because this is how we're not going to do this, we're not going to do this. But we're all now aligned, say look, the best laws that in the shelf they are as useless as the water. So we are going out there, put boots on the ground for doing. In the first place, that ministry, which government said that they waiting in the beginning. Government said I know they treat as serious force over the years. You know, when they appoint me in this role, put and say, hey, na no flinger. Well, me I like him because they able to touch lives very directly. I've always wanted to work in this ministry if you had me a choice.
Okay.
Yeah, because they touch lives very directly, and the rot is so much.
Mr. Minister, we still around the visits and maybe they do at different factories and different institutions that with regard to the situation of workman them at the inside and day. Once I will be visits now the Corridor Limited.
Yeah.
What's not the situation of Corridor Limited with regard to
Corridor, we've been getting a lot of issues with them. I number one for talk about them because na issue we address at the level of leadership now, the government. There were allegations from the staff say them pegged and dollar denominated salaries then to Leones. So to this day, the allege say na 650 90 pay to $1. We dollar don't claim to 2,200 and thereabout. Then still they pay then 2016 value. That matter it's been reviewed. They look into around with one assurance. Waiting due Sierra Leone employees then we will make sure say then get up.
But how soon are we able to conclude on that matter then? Because the workers in Corridor Limited actually they look up to the ministry.
The ministry will not fail them. We will do what is right. We will enforce the law. We will enforce the law without fear or favor.
Okay.
I mean the biggest thing they get as ministry. Now for make sure say the workman they know say their rights have been respected, their contracts have been implemented fairly. So they look into the incident. And also Corridor no more. I mean I don't go roadside, there was a fatality, somebody died in a roadside workplace accident, somebody died in a port. We don't intervene per incident day. And there not be no student get reporting obligations then to the ministry. As per law, who old past me and you. The Factories Act in 1974. 1974 it put a reporting obligation on all employers then for report that.
Mr. Minister, you talk about death of workman in our factories. Quite recently, somebody died at the Victory factory in Eastern Akisi, in Wellington. The ministry aware of that?
Well, so now part of the challenge is what they say. Because of the quality of people then who they employ as human resource people then, for advice management, they know they bring down to it's an obligation under the Factories Act of 1974. Or they reduce now. We currently they before Parliament for repeal and replace with the Occupational Safety and Health Bill, right? Every employer, as soon as he gets an accident, let us not say now a fatality, is supposed to report that. Now then they send a newspaper here, so I send them to the appropriate units in the ministry. They not engage with that process now. And the newspaper, then the media, they help with a lot. And I want for challenge una. Follow na continue for shine a light on labor law violations because we not get a magic for no side infraction they happen, side violation they happen. But if we not draw our attention to considering we limited numbers.
With regard the monetary system that the monetary system that the ministry, because the ministry gets people where they visit or they go around the country that they visit factories and other places them with regard for know the situation of workman there. How strong the monetary system that the ministry be?
It's very weak.
That the ministry not aware of the death of this boy.
The ministry monitoring thing is very, very weak, completely weak. Yeah, because I don't mention how I begin. We're very short staffed. Yeah, now for say really democracy, something happen na corner no be. How many reporters they wanna get now? Pass somebody member if na story we is interested in share out una.
But even right? For the side get labor officers them.
Who say you don't know.
So many factories them.
We not get now no factory we not get labor officer.
People where they report to the ministry. I remember the last time we did the one factory na Kintom Sofa when some of the issues they ask the labor officer. We say whether they in charge now. So when they call, I think they call somebody name we say we not be pleased with again.
No. So from headquarters here, people don't get oversight responsibilities. But I tell you, say we are very, very thin on the ground. But I mentioned, say, I am very, very happy. Say the Minister of Finance, Fantama Bangura.
They're not just an addition. The one that they exist already. You said
the big concern. 3 or 4 labor officers.
You said big concern for the fact say they know they report to the ministry.
We talk about 3 or 4 labor officers for the ministry. That is insulting. Yeah, President Bio, because they put human capital at the heart and center of it all. In government no approach, they say for the last 15 years they don't do all kinds in the no employ. So we have a fair to employ about 178 people there.
Okay.
That process they on. Hopefully next week, the Public Service Commission don't assure me say the advance then go they out for at least 100 of them.
So Minister, away
So
from
the Ministry
that,
of Labour is never going to be the same again. Dr. Samabanya, I met her 2 weeks ago at a funeral in Abuja. They said, look, I said, we like what is happening in the ministry now. I said, it is not the ministry that makes the man, it is the man that makes the ministry. We are going to transform the Ministry of Labour. It's never going to be the same again.
Mr. Minister, let's come to the issue of social protection. Now, also a concern, and we see the ministry, they work along with NACI to extend social protection to the informal sector. Take me through that.
Yeah, so that one is a very big thing. Social protection, a very important thing that for protecting citizens then from too much vulnerability, too much poverty. You know, small thing happen, you're not able to feed yourself, you're not able to look after your family. So social protection day for make sure say we anything like a major shock happen in your life, whether death of a breadwinner or something like able carry on, like COVID being calm, all ends in the day. So we discover say NACIT na 9% of the formal workforce, about 9% of the formal workforce they cover. So if you una 98 for example, well, as proven by the assessment board, you get a workplace accident, number one, you die for you people that way they left behind, or you reach retirement age. All ends in the day they cover. So, but if you na market woman, if you na Okada rider, you na keke rider, you in the informal sector. You know, something happened to you, I mean, end of story. You're not able to call back on any of the incident. His Excellency President Bill very concerned about that. He said we get too many people where get them problem. Yeah, where COVID come, for example, where in a formal sector, they like you know work, you still get something. Yeah, and we put movement restrictions on them people. Yeah, they're not to go ride bike, they're not to go sell. So how then they live? Then vulnerability then they do. So because of that in there, His Excellency desires for law extend social protection to the informal sector.
So which impact will this they begin come now the informal sector?
Yeah, now they say now. So NACIT under the leadership of the current Director General and team, they work very, very hard for law make sure say this dream becomes true. And then million contract was signed with His Excellency for roll out social protection to the informal sector. So we don't work, NACIT don't work very hard with development partners, the ILO, the World Bank and others for put together, they don't do actuarial evaluation because for let you roll out in like you know they just grab the money, say they roll out. A lot of studies then therefore be undertaken. ILO don't can do boku studies there with NACIT, with other technical experts then from various ministries there. They don't just present valuation report of the scheme. What's okay. They mean? So this scheme here, how it go dey? For example, what's in the thing then where a bike rider typically go on for let them cover? We now we retire in the formal system, or we get workplace accident, or we die for your family. When they do that study, they then get their own thing that they want. So the design of their own scheme get for be different. The benefits get for be different. So for example, they will say we want when you get married, we want for law able pay picking fees. We want, for example, for married, for bill host, business money. So all of them things they don't take into consideration. Then they work on that now. Even cabinet with a big. So
how soon this go take effect?
Well, inshallah, all other things remaining the same or getting better. One for doing in the first quarter of next year for extended coverage.
Mr. Minister, you talk about
that one. They go reduce vulnerability. They go increase resilience. Yeah. Yes.
You talk about social security. Social security.
Yep.
A few months back, I covered a program outside the Director General of NACIT. We go give letters them of government institutions them where they say no they pay NACIT for the workman them. What's at the stage of the letters and they will then go hand over to you?
Well, so I mean, police for note say after that, Boku of the non can settle indebtedness with NACIT. Yeah, very important. This not so because you want to do one, the law say for doing. The law compel you for doing because then workman and they will need for get social security for them. So Boko of them comply following that engagement will go with them.
Which institution is so far?
Well, you be did it, but I don't tell you say Boko.
You know the minister they give the letters.
Boko of them be non-comply. Then tell me say NATCA for example, immediately after that then go, they verify, they don't pay. And I want for congratulate them.
Minister, before
that's
we move
good
to the
practice.
next
But I want for encourage other employers then with the in NACIT violations, the act make clear provisions. If you not turn in you not turn in your subscription 15th of every other month, you really they attract penalties, and then penalty provisions will enforce.
Mr. Minister, I mean, again, before we move to the next issue, you don't talk so much about what you're going to do as a ministry, but again, I get the power for all people accountable. And since we come in office, any person they go point out saying that this will be able for like all accountable for actions towards workers or even that particular post they're not paying NACIT for in staff them.
Of course, we don't do that a lot.
Because people go on for no.
We don't do a lot of that. Now they make we name and shame government institutions that will not be comply.
He goes to use this media for call some of them people in there.
Well, I know get a register now today, but with violations then we don't call Boko people then out. Previously, even I don't call people then out. Today, not to naming and shaming. Okay. Because after them naming and shaming and they Boko they don't comply after that.
Okay. You do in it as minister, they go 1 year or so months now, and same so before your other person be doing all of them tell me also the ministry they will put NGOs them, non-governmental organizations them or other people them so far for recruit people and go work at the Middle East as difficult workers them. Now we see the situation at the Middle East so far. What is the ministry going to do for getting in touch with Sierra Leoneans and we did that particular Middle East with all what's in their happy?
Okay, so first we got the Labor Migration Act of 2023. That one day, na ensure if you are Sierra Leonean, you want to go abroad, the process is the way for do, right? Now, make government license, you rights there and your responsibilities there. Government also ensure say we set up, we encourage the private sector for participate in that space through the establishment and licensing of private recruitment agencies. As at the talk today, we'll get about 23 registered private recruitment agencies with the ministry. They want and they get right? Would they get problems that would they resolve them? The Lebanon we talk about will not get no bilateral labor migration agreement between Sierra Leone and Lebanon. So all the one that would go Lebanon, then they do so without government. Then they go on their own. But when crisis break out, that is why we're a government who owe them a duty.
Okay.
I've been in the global compact on migration media review in Ethiopia very recently. The whole world was there. I make a clear call for let them make sure let them support you for repatriate the Sierra Leoneans and they what they did. And I'm pleased to note that after that, right, working with the IOM and other partners there, about 200 and more Sierra Leoneans and they don't register now. The repatriation arrangements they on course.
Okay.
I'm also aware, following the same thing because I met with the IOM Director General Global and the Regional Director, and I'm not issues that I treat very seriously at that conference. But I work with the IOM manager in country. They also advanced stages for repatriate Sierra Leoneans and holding Niger, about between 700 to 1,000. So a lot of things are happening in this space. These are our citizens. They let them go there without consent. Government for do what we do for repatriate them. But how for use this opportunity for advice Sierra Leoneans? There is a straight and narrow path where they assure say you get safe, legal and dignified migration if you want to go work abroad. You can use any of the government licensed private recruitment agencies and that you go there and say, hey, what thing go wrong now? Then begin
Mr. Minister, continue for the between.
That's only when Papa government becomes relevant.
Continue for the between the program in name na Mohamed Gaman Swaray and in the Minister for Employment, Labour and Social Security. As they take the text messages them now we don't come inside the program. Jalo.
This one our Facebook page they say one of the most empty entity standards who cannot even control the inflow of fake spare parts, substandard iron rods, filthy shattered waters, expired goods all around the place. Now they talk about cop for measure.
This one now is 077981981. Say, Mr. Minister, what about companies who retire their workers without paying their gratuity in full?
This other post, they say, salute politician with plans and promises, na 5 and 6.
This one, our Facebook page, Francis, our Facebook page, say, please, Mr. Minister, things are difficult. Is there any discussions about the minimum wage?
This other person, they say, so what are they going to do about the importers of rice that sells a 50 kg that's supposed to be 200 cups, but at the end, poor market people who runs a loss, we are 50 kg, we only sub up to 170 to 180 cups. This they go for, I think that report we understand that bureau.
Raymond on our Facebook page say, do we have wage clarification or wage determination in Sierra Leone?
This other policy, if FGM is a human rights abuse, what will you call the transformation of sex exchange, which while done in the West?
Mystic Nadwazak say doctors working at chiefdom level is a welcoming news, more so when we have lost many Sierra Leoneans as a result of the lack of quality healthcare centers in chiefdom level. Just the implementation and the willingness of these assigned doctors is my worry.
This other post, I think they send this message to the minister and say labor right is a big joke in this country. The only right we have is the right of the employer.
Well, Jallo, because of time, we'll go over to the minister for making a response to some of the messages and so far we don't come.
Okay, Mr. Minister, you don't hear some of the messages, then you go respond to some of them.
Yes. Most of the messages are not actually for me, but for other stories I want to air. Somebody, they talk about the minimum wage. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that the minimum wage is bad. His Excellency, pretty concerned. Just 2 weeks ago, because I've been on the mention and Labour Congress or mention and now in remind we is that factored into this year's budget. When I make sure I talk to the Minister of Finance. Yeah. So 2 days ago, the Joint National Negotiating Board (GNNB), as per law established, meet. We comprise of the Labour Congress, employers, and the ministry. We meet, and under the new Industrial Relations Act, including the Ministry of Finance. We meet for discuss the minimum wage, an increase of the minimum wage. One thing is sure, we know say the current minimum wage as it is terrible. Government would like to do more because that's the right and proper thing to do, but it also depends on the resource envelope. Last year, because government thinks it's important, even without increasing the minimum wage, they make sure say for government employees and they make 1,000,000. So the least possible. I mean, that's my information. So this year, within discussions with the Ministry of Finance, something will happen.
Okay.
We'll go increase the minimum wage.
Well, now,
what I wouldn't know, but I mean, there's a lot of goodwill around the table.
Okay.
Sure
Well, now with that one, we could go the program to an end. Plenty thank you to you, Mohamed Rahman Swaray, Minister of Employment, Labour and Social Security, for joining the program today for Can Talk. But what in the ministry to do so far for improve labour issues across the country? Well, now for this program, good morning, Salongo Lefi for today. Plenty thank you to the studio guest and except to producer Michael Sambola. We produce the program. You know, Kabia, Usman Kamara, and Mange Mansari. And same also to the technical team. We make family for watch we live now Facebook page